Just give you an overview of what I'm going to do. Unlike last year, but incidentally, you know why this happens now? When the racing is finished, you know, there's a 1 hour period for protest. So you can do something for 1 hour. So they say, hey Pat, you can talk. So you talk for 1 hour. Last year, I think I spoke for 1 hour and 25 minutes. This year, I'm not going to talk for 1 hour and 25 minutes. What we're going to do this year is I'm going to bring in a couple of specialist judges. I've got Jeff Goddard, the famous engine designer, who's here as a judge. If anybody doesn't know who Jeff Goddard is, you should learn. I've got Steve Fox, who's here for the US competition, very experienced judge, structures and powertrain. And David Gould, who's the chief design judge from the UK. David builds composite hill-climb cars and does all that sort of stuff. So he's very experienced on chassis and dynamics. And then I'm supposed to be an expert on whatever I'm an expert on. So what we'll do is probably have a little introduction, have a little bit of a talk. Maybe we've got some cars here that we can use as samples to look at. There's a tube-frame car here, a Monaco car there, maybe something else. They took away the RBA10 or O10. Could have used that. I bet they wouldn't let us look at it. But my experts are away at the moment, looking at something else. Anybody here from Brunel? No, you're from Brunel. Okay, the Brunel team feel that the judges are trained impartially. That's okay. We've sent some judges to have a look and see if they've been treated harshly. We're not going to change their score, but we'll have a look and give them some feedback. What happens often at these events is that teams look at the score they get in design, engineering design, and then look at a car beside them, and it actually scored more points. And they say, hey, our car is better than theirs. And maybe it is. But the real trick is, not that I should say there's a trick, maybe they know why their car is the way it is, and you didn't know how your car was the way it was. So it becomes a knowledge-based thing. There have been some things happen in recent years with good, excellent cars being excluded from the finals of design in various competitions. And this has invariably happened not because of the car, but because of the student's knowledge. Classic example was many people had their eyebrows raised that the University of West Australian car didn't make it to the design semi-finals in the US. And that was simply because the people who designed and built the car had graduated and gone away. The team that brought the car to the competition weren't the people who understood it. So when we start to ask the question why, I mean, the judges can look at your car and look at your design review and see what you've done. But when we ask why you did it, you've got to have the answers. And many teams don't have those answers. So that's why those seeming anomalies happen. Generally, I've got to tell you that the judges are very good. And here in Germany, the judges are very, very good. Last night in the design finals, we had 31 judges judging the cars. So that meant we had 31 opinions or judgings that we could blend together into a result. I'm not going to tell you who won. You have to wait a while to find that out. But before we start, for those who's here at the moment, is Steve here? Okay, so we got Steve Fox from the US competition. I'm sure you've probably met him and heard from him. When we play good cop, bad cop, you know about good cop, bad cop? Steve's the bad cop. And you'll find out why. He'll tell you why. And here, of course, we've got Jeff Goddard, who's famous in motor racing circles. One of these guys that the opposition role when he walks in and gets involved. He broke many, many hearts, says Jeff Goddard. David Gould should be around somewhere too. You know where David is? We'll wait for him, so it's okay. We'll talk. So, okay. Where does it all start? We were talking now about engineering design. In this competition, where does it all start? Months before the event, what paperwork do you have to submit? A design report? Tell me about the design report. Who wrote the design report? Anybody here who actually wrote the design report? When did you do it? Yes, but how long before the submission date did you write the design report? About 4 weeks? I'm quite surprised. How long did it take you to write it? How long did it take you to write it? Pardon? I doubt that actually, but anyway. Is this a presentation document? Anybody tell me what they think would be a good definition of what the design report is? Tell them, Steve, tell them what a good design report is.
A good design report is made up of engineering information that spells out exactly what your car is all about. It's not a presentation document. I'm an engineer, Pat's an engineer, all of the design judges are hardcore, long-time experienced race car engineers. We've done it, we've been there, we are expecting hardcore engineering documentation. So many times the design reports end up being presentation type material. We did this last year, so next year we're going to do this. I don't care about last year's car. It was nice that you competed last year, but I maybe remember it and maybe I don't, so I don't have a good comparison base to work from. What I want to know is that you came up with a design, you put the design into some kind of an engineering evaluation program or a CAD program, conceptualized it, refined it, probably put it through some kind of an FDA process to check that it was actually as strong as it needed to be or as light as you wanted it to be. Then you manufacture the part. Then you validate your test results through testing. Validate your engineering results through testing. Your knowledge of this process is what we are testing you on in design judging, not presentation stuff. So many times, engineering reports, the design report ends up being a big presentation document, and that's really not what we're looking for. Save it for the presentation event. Another thing that we're really kind of big on is drawings. You're asked to turn in a 3-view drawing of your car. An awful lot of times we get drawings that look like screenshots from a CAD rendered image. That's not a 3-view drawing. We want an engineering drawing, which is a top, a side, and a front view of your car, with dimensions. So many times students leave dimensions off the drawings and we have no idea how big the car is. We read the reports in detail. We also look at the drawings in order to pick up features that you might not have mentioned in your report. So many times Pat and I look at the drawings and we pick out things that we wouldn't have seen in the 4 pages of text. It is very, very helpful to be able to see this. So the detail level that you take your line drawings to is really very, very helpful in your design reports. Stick to the design features and the hardcore engineering facts.
Okay, I'll just add to that. You have heard the saying that a picture's worth 1,000 words, and yet, as Steve says, we see these low-resolution JPEG screen dumps from a solid modeling program. It tells us absolutely nothing. Total and utter waste of space. Nice line drawings, dimensions, as Steve says, but don't bury the thing in dimensions. We don't need to know every dimension of every component of the car. We just need to see enough stuff for us to be able to visualize the size of the car. Now, something else that helps, it's not in the rules, but it's a very good thing, is a line drawing, an isometric drawing of the car that shows the car in a way that we can see the whole car as an assembly. You don't have to do that, but let me tell you, it's a good idea. That is a good idea.
Excellent idea.
Pardon?
Excellent idea.
Yeah. You only get one opportunity to make a first impression. This is your car's CV, your design CV. It comes to us, honestly, the number of times that we've looked down and we think, oh, no crap. Now, I know there's been a lot of heartache and hard work gone into that design report, but if it's a crap document, it's a crap document. Now, let's talk about another thing. How do you think, I sit on the airplane for 24 hours, I fly over here and I read every single one of these design reviews.